Thank you so much for waiting. We are ready to jump into game 3 of the day, Imperium. It's been an absolutely awesome last game because all the teams that are fighting for top 8, they got in top 3 positioning. Next game might be the decisive point of this tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely more of the decisive point in the overall standings as we look at it in front of our eyes. Tornado Energy holding on to top spot, 267 points, but the story is down in the bottom half. YMCA with 187, Quick Math with 183, InsideGames with 179, Katana 169, and 4 Angry Kids with 159.
It's getting so freaking close. You need 20 points for 4 Angry Kids. They need basically to repeat the performance of last game, do it again, and they'll make it out on top. That's what they're really aiming for here. So let's hope that 4 Angry Kids, they can actually try and get up there. Same for Katana. They got second position last game. InsideGames got third overall, so their point averages are actually pretty improved on that one. They need to do, once again, all these 3 teams, they need to do the same game. One team between all of these ones that don't do a great performance on the next 2 games, they're going to struggle a lot more.
I thought it was going to be a bit closer between the likes of Katana,
I know,
Quick
right?
Math,
Especially after
InsideGames
got 21.
Yeah, I know. I really thought, but you know what? With 2 games to go, another chicken dinner from 4 Angry Kids could easily put them up with the likes of InsideGames and Katana. 21 points in the first Miramar game. Follow up with another 21 points in the second Miramar game. We'll see them drive on through. I just really thought it was a lot closer. However, this playing trajectory is, once again, a bit of a pain in the ass for teams.
I think you couldn't say it any better right there. Imperium, yeah. Let's hope that we're not going to have 3 1v1s between Unity and the likes of Rewap. That should not be really happening. Especially in the Rewap, they need some good performances. They need some good games to... It's still not impossible. They just need the next 2 games here on Miramar and the next one on Sandhawk. They need that to be a performance of a lifetime and to get 30 points if they can. Is that even possible? I've never seen a 30-point game for one team in one game. But that's the kind of stuff that they're going to have to try and pull off. It's not impossible, but it's almost impossible, Imperium, as the drops will be happening. Unity and Rewap, they're taking a risk to drop split, but you can see that Unity, they're not dropping in the exact same location. They kind of shifted a little bit more on the west to get away from the likes of Rewap and to not have, once again, 3 1v1s early, which I do like.
Come on, give me a super north circle. Come on, give me a super north circle. Come on. Hey, we already had a near Oasis circle, so, you know, you've had your chance. I got my chance and it worked out, which is Los Higos. So if it's a far north, we'll see a lot of super duper early rotations from these teams.
Where's it going to be? Oh, okay.
It's going to be kind of central, kind of normal, heading towards kind of northwest. San Martin is in there, El Pozo, La Cabriera. Then, of course, you have the mountains in between, which these teams will look to hold on to as Quick Math and DOS Pilots. Once again, kind of close to each other.
I think it's just because we had so many weird games that now weird circles are normal to us. I think that's the point we got to right now in Imperium.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so you're going to see Quick Math. They're going to go for the long drop. They get to the likes of San Martin in the next few seconds. They should be just fine. DOS Pilot, last game, unfortunately, they got 1, 2 points?
1 point.
They were 1 point and...
Un point.
Una punto. Punto? I don't know.
Un point.
Un point. No, point is French. I know
yeah,
that.
I know. I was saying in French. I was trying to be respectful.
Oh.
You know. God.
Okay.
I was trying to pay respect to you, but okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Press F.
Actually, I wish I knew it in Turkish because DOS pilots are Turkish. Unfortunately, I don't know it. I might ask Lipsin what 21 is in Turkish. So when they do get a 21-point game, which I'm hopeful for, I can call it out. But Rewap, they are kind of going for a bit of a split. Mage Bane on his own in that buggy, just going from house to house, compound to compound, loot himself up.
Quick Math going to be a little bit more proactive this game around on their rotations. There's not going to be something too unexpected like a Los Higos finish or maybe a Oasis finish. They have now a really good point of rotation. They're in circle 2, as you mentioned. It is there. So Quick Math shouldn't get in too much of trouble this time, I hope, because once again, they're a team that are really close to that. They're very close to the limit. They are in 7th, but they're very close of potentially dropping down. They can't afford a 0 to 1, 3, 4 point game. They need 5 points minimum to potentially stay there.
Every point counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything. Right now, their average is about 5.5, which, as I said at the start of phase, it's about 5 and 6 points average per game, which gets you into top 8. That's what they're currently standing at the moment. So if they get 6 or 7 points between placement and kills, yeah, that's just going to be extra security that they'll stay in the top 8.
Milky Way. I mean, why are we looking at Milky Way? We know you're making it to the finals. Get out of here. We want to see the other teams. No, but Milky Way, their team was really safe. They started off the day with 206 points. Kind of unfortunate first game. They got 0 points. But still, they're going to the finals anyway.
They are.
For this phase 3 of contenders. So they are completely safe. Last Crew, also another team that... I'm really happy with the story, actually, from Last Crew. I remember the 2 first days, they were like in 15th position. And then from day 3 until now, performance after performance after performance, playing super aggressive. I was absolutely loving their gameplay. And I still am, actually. I don't know why I said that in the past. But their team that's been really surprising me. And I'm sure in the finals, when they're going to clash against some teams of Group B, they're going to be doing great.
They're the only team in the top 5 who've only gone 2 chicken dinners, which shows that their consistency outside of the chicken dinners have been strong enough to get them to this placement point. And I always think that's really important because that shows a really solid improvement of consistency in results to drive yourself forward, that even if you don't get a chicken dinner, that you're getting the relative points needed, which in that position is between 6 and 7 points per game. You average that out with a couple of bad performances, as we saw in the first 2 days, with the high-end performances, and, as I said, with only 2 chicken dinners. Very impressive play from Last Crew.
It levels it up just a little bit, and the average is pretty significant. Unity this time, as I said, I'm happy. No 1v1 fights happening for them, so they got away from Rewap pretty quickly, got into the southern section of the circle. They find Compound 2 as Tornado Energy in the fields here of El Paso, and they're going to be clashing with 3D Max.
Talking about 3D Max, they've actually overtaken Unity in the overall standings. On a side note, Unity dropped down to 5th, 3D Max hold on to 4th. Of course, it's slightly relative because at the end of the day, both teams have pretty much guaranteed their spot, but we talked about at the start of the day how kind of close 3D Max were to potentially kind of being one of the teams that could find themselves barely getting in, but going up in the standings with a couple of strong overall results is helping their cause in this point of the phase.
I'm seeing the HeartShift and actually Last Crew, they're getting pretty close. You saw Nihanas
outside of circle as well.
There's going to be that one member of Last Crew going to be dropping through, maybe trying to find a few shots. Seems like that will not quite work out. But yeah, Stella. As I said, thank you, Stella. Don't use cars. Just get away from cars as fast as you possibly can. As LXG and Rewap, they're going to be facing up against each other. There's a 2-2 split from LXG.
It's outside the circle as well.
Rewap, they can't afford to lose that if they're looking, as I said, like they need 2 insane good games to
I
make
hate to say it, but Rewap are not going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say they're not going to make it. I don't want to feel negative, but like it is. If they make it,
because they're 51 points behind. They mathematically can't make it. Unfortunately,
if you clear the entire lobby, if you get 60 kills, 60 kills on a chicken dinner, I mean, it's possible.
I think there's more chance of me going out with me lacunas than that happening, to be honest, buddy. But as 4 angry kids, Havokki get the kill onto iZoom from Milky Way. So Milky Way, once again, not having the strongest of starts in this Miramar game. Oh, man, fine. Yeah, you finally missed those shots onto LXG. But then man's Cop's back to get a kill onto RonnieKray, so it's a 3v3 situation between 4 Angry Kids and Milky Way on the western part of this circle, towards the edge of it.
There's still a bunch of compound. I don't think that fight should really be happening between these two teams. They got so much room on the west. Like, there's so much easy rotation points also to get a compound or something like that. I don't think this fight should really be breaking out. Especially
for 4 Angry Kids. I know they kind of need every point that they can get.
They can't afford this.
It kind of has to be calculated aggression. They might want to be more aggressive, but it has to be calculated aggression.
Because if they lose this fight and they get taken out early, it's almost game over.
Not helping. It is.
It is game over.
It is.
So they can't die here. They need to get minimum top 3 if they want to break it up.
And we saw, even though it was a very odd circle in the last game, we saw what getting the center of the circle did for their points and for their result in the last Miramar game, getting that chicken dinner. So not only, you're in the circle, but you're towards the edge. A lot of teams are already in the center circle. To lose one man early on does not help your cause when you need to rotate into the circle, where that extra person will provide a positional level of vision, will provide that extra manpower when it comes to a squad fight. So for Angry Kids, if I were you, I'd look to disengage, but phase 2 circle, it's gone a little bit more central. A lot of teams are already inside the circle. You only have HeartShift out of it, Last Crew, YMCA, Milky Way, and 4 Angry Kids, as well as LXG down south, travelling through Shumasera.
The DreamHack to have that 2G split. Gonna be these two gonna try and find a better location, maybe to set up camp with, or maybe get back together.
Yeah, you have like 3D Max traveling through together. They're kind of pinched by both FBI and Tornado Energy. Tornado Energy have the compound that are in the field outside of El Pozo, which isn't a bad place because they're on the edge of it, where it's most likely not going to go towards El Pozo, although it's happened. So they should be fine for entering into the next phase. So they're going to stay where they are all the while.
Inside Games, you can't afford this. Stop them. My Ferrari breach. They find their first member getting taken out of the picture. Inside Games, as I said, they can't afford these kind of early kills happening.
Again, one member going out early on, it's just going to put them under more pressure.
It's same for Angry Kids. They lost one member earlier with Milky Way. Milky Way, actually, I really liked it. Actually rotated away from that fight in the far west and actually went to Monte Nuevo to just play it a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Which I do really like, that kind of rotation. Quick math, like every single team we're talking about, like, and that we show on camera, they're actually teams that are, like, the stakes are super high in this almost last game.
That's what I love, is that the focus goes on to the teams that have the most to win and the most to lose. Because upsets can be caused at this stage of the game, at this stage of the phase, as they just want to get into top 8. They just want to get into the final stage of the phase 3, because once they're there, Max, then they can kind of reset, retrain, re-strategize, and hopefully then make it into the promotional phase for PEL for 2020.
They have a lot of time to kind of rework on that. And all of the best to all of these teams that will make it through. And even the teams that don't make it through, like, they can still come back strong the next time.
More chances.
Yeah, because they all afford, of course, to be in this phase 3 contenders.
Definitely.
As Unity, as said earlier, they avoided the fight, and they're going to be aiming for dead center circle. Like, the last few days on Miramar, on week 1, Unity has been a team that's been absolutely smashing it, and I think I can say that.
Yeah,
fair
enough.
Destroying every single game on Miramar. And the second week, Miramar and Unity, they had one chicken dinner at some point, but like their performances have been a little bit lower than usual on Miramar. So maybe because they're feeling safe in that top 8, I don't know.
That could be an element, but
maybe trying something different.
Exactly. You're always looking to kind of try new things, so you're a bit more prepared for future situations, so you can adapt a little bit quicker, especially when you're preparing to head into the final stage and you want to try something that you might look to implement in a more serious level in the final stage. It's about creating information, gathering information, gathering intel, so that when it comes to those clutch moments that the IGL can kind of go, okay, let's go here, let's position ourselves here. It works out in their favor and they find themselves getting a chicken dinner and once again getting closer to the PEL in 2020.
2, 1, where's it going to go? It shifts high up north. Still have a little bit of road getting involved. A lot of these teams through the south. STR, going to be also Milky Way, Inside Games as their 3 remaining members. Unity, they're going to try and make it through. A lot of actually good entry points on the west and the east. That's where ReWap are going to find a nice entry point up there on the east. The Milky Way, as I said, they're going to try and rotate early. They've got 2 members in that shack. And Mans is going to try and join them as soon as possible, but a few shots will be fired in the distance by the likes of Tornado Energy, but they should be safe for now, at least as DOS Pilot and actually Quick Math, they're getting involved. Pretty big fight happening now.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of real kind of positive compound in the center of the circle. You have kind of the high ground to the east of the fields of El Pozo that kind of Katana are in. LXG are traveling through from the western side of the fields of El Pozo to try and get onto the mountainside, but Ferrari Beach and 3D Max going at each other. Furax finds a knockdown onto EduCoz. The grenade will most likely secure the kill. He kind of goes, oh, wait, no. Let's go away from that. As Noki will just move away. Most likely will not be revived. Give it time. That kill will go over. The point will go over to 3D Max. As now with the blue zone closing in, the south side of the circle where we saw a couple of members inside circle, Ferrari breach. We then see Washout, that's outside the circle. InsideGames are there. You then have Unity to the east side in power. And then you have Monte Nuevo outside of it is occupied between Stellar and 4 Angry Kids.
Yeah, but they have to rotate away from it as it's not going to be in circle for the next phase, end of phase 3. So yeah, Stellar, as you said, they're going to rotate in, but Milky Way, they have an angle, especially if you make it on the top of that hill. Most teams will have a point of visibility on you, and actually InsideGames and Ferrari Breach a little bit far on the east of this positioning of Stellar. They're going to be fighting up against each other. No knocks happening quite yet, but here you go. oKKo for Washout actually having a pretty decent positioning there on the high ground, but Grenade going to be chucked on through. Pixelate going to be knocked out by oKKo. But this is not looking great. InsideGames, they were down to 3 members earlier. They beat Odstrelovac. It's only going to be 1 member, and seniks might be the last chance for them to make it and just remain in that top 8.
Yeah.
As they're still in 8th position, they can't afford to get taken out now. And they're closing up, and Ferrari Breach, they want those juicy points, even though they're not going to make it normally in that top 8. And there you go, InsideGame in 60th position. This is not looking good, like, at all. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the reason why they're not in top 8 at the end of the game.
Time will tell.
Oh my god.
Let's not think about it too much, but
I'm scared.
It's definitely a bit uncomfortable for InsideGames because they have to spend the rest of the game going, oh no, who's above us? Who's kind of doing pretty good? Just something like that, like 4 Angry Kids, Katana, Quick Math, they all want those teams to have bad results as Mike from HeartShift gets taken out at the hands of Rewop. The circle shift went back down south, where it's going to go in the favor of Milky Way, Ferrari Breach, who are fighting over this compound. Rezu's on the outside of you have EduCoz there, looking for it, does not find a knockdown. DP gets the kill onto EduCoz, and Ferrari Breach down to 1 player. That is Rezu.
And Rezu, just like that game.
Oh no, 2 players. My apologies, Rezu and oKKo.
Yeah, they're down to 2 members, but they're Rewop going to be losing Mage Bane, Unity getting involved. Nice, he has Mage Bane. He's trying to be a little bit of a scout, trying to see if that compound was left over, but not quite. It is though. He has the high ground perfectly done, and Teaserin absolutely smashing it. Gets fine, instantly flushed out. Extra point for them, even though they're pretty secure in the overall standings. And a few teams actually go for risky rotations, and you can see in the distance a few shots getting lasered, especially on last crew making it through that valley.
Look at that.
They make it through the valley, they're going to make it through the road. Guess who? Rewop. He's taking a bit of damage, 19. 1 headshot connects on top of E1. But now, guess who? He just unfortunately can't afford to stop. He has to go, and that's Unity getting an extra point. And Rewop, unfortunately, kind of struggling on that one, but he gets in the center circle.
Yeah, but he's the only one that's left standing. A lot of teams around him. He's just going to have to try and hide in a dip. Hope he doesn't get spotted and hope for the best along the way. As 3D Max secured a compound inside the center circle ahead of 4 Angry Kids. They were heading that direction. Northrest from 4 Angry Kids, taking damage from Stellar, shooting from the southern side of the circle. All the while, Milky Way and the side of Ferrari Breach going at each other. oKKo is down to about 20 health. Man's going to get the revive. Just to keep it safe. Rezu's there, giving info indeed. Yeah. Is a grenade going to go out?
He's the last member 2.
Come on. It's a 1v1. Going to turn into a 1v2.
And Stellar, they find a huge grenade. Do shut down a lot of members of 4 Angry Kids. This is not looking good. Just a little bit similar to the situation of InsideGames. Yeah, now it's turned into a 1v2 also for Ferrari Breach. As Mans did get the res on off string. Trying to get a little bit more visibility, but they're closing up. They know there's only 1 member. They know they have the prime opportunity. Oh, finds the headshot. Man, turned down to a 1v1.
You hero! No way!
No, it doesn't work out. And Milky Way going to find another res on top of Mans. That was very close, but unfortunately for Ferrari Breach, they do not see the end of the time. Oh my god, for Angry Kids in 14th. No, this is a prime opportunity now for Katana to come out on top. If they win this game with a huge amount of points and kills, they can make it back into the top 8. Quick math. And last crew going to find a few angles on Unity, fighting for those juicy kills. But Katana, as I mentioned it, they're fighting with LXG. They're losing member after member. Azrin and Max are going to be knocked away.
No way. Is this going to be upset after upset for these teams fighting for the top 8 position? Is it going to give QuickMath even more space in the overall standings? Let's see Katana get eliminated in 13th place. That is 3 teams for the top 8 getting eliminated in the first 18 minutes of this game.
You only got QuickMath now, and actually in the Far East, they're going to be fighting with like Unity and also last crew. YMCA in the distance getting involved with a bunch of other fights. You know, this like especially going to try and focus on QuickMath. QuickMath, they lose Diggory down to now 3 members. YMCA got eliminated in now 12th position by LXG. They shut down 2 teams. They shut down both YMCA and Katana at the same time, despite being in last position.
They've got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
It's going to cause another upset. All the while, DOS Pilots have a compound. It's not quite in the center circle, but it's nicely on the edge of the circle, and they've got a couple of knockdowns.
QuickMath, no.
Let's not deny what DOS Pilots can do. You said they could. I said no, they actually can't. But Tizerin is going to take down Ensalonzo. It is in the smoke, but the revive most likely will not come out. Jupsy gets put down to 24 health. Pelty is there now, going to peek on through. Going to throw a grenade in the direction of Snoopy. Will it be a Kobe? Will it connect? Not quite far enough, but another one comes out. He now gets onto the scope with the SLR just to try and connect, as Lipsin does take that kill onto Ensalonzo. Another point in the favor of DOS Pilots, as Lipsin is just going to put Unity under more pressure as LXG joins in on the fun as well outside the circle.
Yeah, completely smashing it, and I'm just on the edge on my seat for QuickMath right now.
I know,
at least
right?
Inside Games, because of all these teams getting taken out, they'll be like, okay, we might be okay now because all these teams also had a bad performance here on Miramar.
Pretty much.
So Inside Games, they just kind of relax a little bit more. But now on Rewap, guess who? Gonna find a nice knock on Moleman. Can't quite find the secure, but last true with LXG actually. Once again, they're finding some nice shots on this high ground on the mountain, but they're not in circle. Rotation will have to happen for them. Gonna find, guess who? The last member of Rewap. Out in now 11th position. 10 teams remaining, and QuickMath still is only 2 members on their side. LXG going to be clashing with DOS Pilot. DOS Pilot seeming pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's going to be only Fuse. He got 5 kills earlier. Will that be enough to give him the confidence to pick a fight with the full forces of Tornado Energy? IGG going to shut down by 3D. Max in the distance going to try and get involved. But yeah, Fuse is the last member. Example going to try and come through. Alia, GG, and Kompok got both knocked away. 2 members remaining on side of Tornado. A res could happen, but Example wants to shut down LXG in now 10th position.
Of course, there you go.
As I said, 10th position for LXG. Only 9 teams remaining.
Tell
Good
you what,
aim for the res.
Might have gone out in 8th, but they caused a couple of upsets getting involved with 2 squad fights in the teams fighting for the top 8 is last crew. Now going up against Milky Way for the small little compound. AKS goes in. He doesn't get the shots onto Mans, and Mans returns fire. Gets a kill onto AKA Skills. Kaz from Stellar gets it onto Ostring, leaving Milky Way just Mans alive. Joppy's knocked down, Rip and Muck in the distance. What's going to happen is Uni get eliminated at the hands of ctrkN and the DOS Pilot squad.
You can see the shift of the circle. That really helps actually the cause of QuickMath. They're really simple entry point. They got a bunch of dips a little bit lower down towards the likes of DOS Pilot and also Last Crew. So they can try and really set up camp over there. 3D Max, Tornado Energy, they're the 2 teams they're heavily going to have to rotate. Same for the like of Stellar. So 3 big teams with still 4 members on their side. They're going to have a little bit of a harsh rotation point.
And I also like that DOS Pilots are going for a 2-2 split on kind of the road split. So you have POLLADERUC and Rita on kind of the north side, and you have Lipsin and ctrkN on the south side, as Jutsi gets knocked down, leaving Pelty just standing. Probably will be able to get that revive, but with the circle closing in, the blue zone's going to do a lot of tick damage in phase 5. Tornado Energy in those vehicles gets out, tries to dance around the bullets being fired off from 3D Max. Not quite getting spotted. Example gets knocked down by DOS Pilots, Lipsin and POLLADERUC getting the work done. More points, more prizes. HeartShift get eliminated in 8th place. We're down to 7 teams. Pelty got taken down by Last Crew. Jappy putting in the work. This is going to be a bit more of an upset after upset for these teams, and it's only favouring the side of DOS Pilots.
Yeah, DOS Pilot, they're just so happy to see all these teams getting taken out early.
Yep.
They would fight up against Milky Way. Mans was that last member. Headshot goes down. Kaz, nicely done for Stella. Gonna take him out in 7th position. We're down to the top 6, Imperium. But Last Crew in the low ground. Molotov going to come out. Doesn't quite work out. Doesn't go in the shack.
Oh
DOS
my
Pilot
God.
actually getting involved. And 3D Max, that fight's happening. But Tornado, you're going to lose Mailman. Flushed out instantly. And Last Crew with the high ground. In the valley, they find Noki. Can they find more left to win? See, Furax in the far background. Did not make it out. Grenade got chucked on through. Will it work out? Puts actually Kaz and Sellers so goddamn low. Just one bullet will do the work. Rip, will you do the move? As we know that Rip, he's always one of the top fraggers. He's actually the top fragger of this 3rd week. But they raised back up to 75%. You lost your chance. Now you're going to have to deal with the consequences. As Sellers going to try and find a man who does dip on through. Nicely done. Find
No
Quick
way!
in 6th position. But the fight will be ongoing anyways for Last Crew. Does flush it down on top of Kaz. Going to be the last member. And here it is. They get it from behind. Perfectly executed. But Stella Beanie in the distance still. 6 seconds remaining. He does apply a lot of pressure, but it will not matter. As Stella taken out in 5th position. But what you have to keep in mind is QuickMath out in 6.
Yeah, but they survived ahead of InsideGames and Katana, which means they pretty much secured their spot, or at least made it a little bit easier to secure their spot. They also survived ahead of YMCA, and because they were only 4 points behind YMCA, we could see YMCA being potentially taken out. Of course, we'll find out as the standings come through after this game. This game continues though. 4 teams left, 12 players left alive. DOS Pilots looking so strong in this game. The Turkish side with the full squad looking to secure their first chicken dinner of this phase, Max.
They're going to try their best. Also, 3D Max, they got a res that happened earlier.
True.
So I was a little bit surprised it actually happened to get that. Seemed like they got a little bit of an easy entry point in the valley, so they couldn't really recover from that skirmish. Tornado Energy, they lost 2 members.
Look at how DOS Pilots are
They're
separated
so
in a good way, and they've been far more proactive in this game than I've seen them in quite a while. They look very confident with their position. They look very confident with their shots, a lot more than we've seen previously, because they're separated in the right angles. You have Rita still in the circle, but in the background, able to fire angles on the likes of Tornado Energy, who are looking to kind of cross the road should the circle push down south. Then you have the 3 other members of DOS Pilots firing in the direction of both Last Crew and 3D Max.
They're not in circle in Fury.
No.
They're going to have to leave that shack. They do have a little bit of a smoke, but I don't think that's going to be enough, even though smokes don't make them get through the circle. And DOS Pilot, once again, they're high ground, and that 3-1 split working absolute wonders on both all the remaining from the 3D Max, Last Crew, and also Tornado Energy. But here it is. They have to go for the rush, but 3D Max, they're ready to put a big stop sign in front of Last Crew if they want.
Wait.
They're going to clap right in the back of them. Rip. Going to be taking quite a bit of damage. They lose Jappy, and there it is. 3D Max taking out Last Crew in 4th position. Top 3, Tornado Energy, 3D Max, or still the 4-man squad, the 4-man army of DOS Pilot going on through.
Come on, low-key. DOS Pilot, you can do it, guys. But 3D Max, there's a reason why they are right now in 4th place. There's a reason why Tornado Energy are on the top of the leaderboard. It's going to take a lot for DOS Pilots to eliminate these 2 squads. They are confident. They are aggressive. They know what they can do. But it's going to be a 3-squad fight. Phantom knocks down Compa, takes away that kill. GG is the last one standing for Tornado Energy outside the circle. Taking blue, tick damage, close to, should I say. Taking blue tick damage as the phase shifted through, went once again down south. Rita isn't inside the circle, but to be honest, it actually doesn't matter because she's providing angle, positional communication to the rest of her team. And if she does make it through to circle, she'll be able to put down GG if she gets the chance.
She's somewhat of a sacrificial lamb right there.
A bit of a sacrificial
and it gives
lamb.
so much, that positioning. Even if they do lose her, they can afford it because they're still the 4-man squad, which is absolutely perfect. Now 3D Max, they're going to slowly get pushed back, and the circle going to be kind of central, does shift towards the likes of 3D Max, and that's going to force kind of DOS Pilot to go away, but there it is. Aya GG going to be going down to the hands of Phantom in now 3rd position. It's going to be all 3D Max or DOS Pilot.
4v3, but Rita outside the circle, can she make it across the road in time? I actually think she can, because 3D Max are actually pushed back towards the southwestern side, which means there was a chance for Rita to drive on through. So now it's a true 4v3 situation with DOS Pilots in a bit of a 2-and-2 split. You have Rita and POLLADERUC on kind of the northern side of the circle. You then have Lipsin, and you have the one and only ctrkN outside the circle, surprisingly. But I think I get why they're going for it, because they're going for a bit of a behind breach where 3D Max are to try and find the ultimate angles. You have POLLADERUC with the high ground, Rita just peeking on through. They're looking for the shots, but 3D Max, as I said, they're confident. They're a confident team. They have fantastic players. You have the one and only Solar, Phantom, Noki, left standing for 3D Max. Shots going to be fired through from both teams as we get through to the final phase, the final circle. We're going to be finding out who's going to be the chicken dinner for the second Miramar game of the day.
Yeah, Solo is a little bit low, actually. Does get the res back to 75%. They do have then that now 3-1 split. A little bit on the side here. Rita going to allow a lot of pressure on top of Noki and Phantom on their positioning, but they are the closest to the center circle, and it's actually going to be on the center of circle is on a very tippity top of the mountain there, Imperium. So now that's going to allow DOS Pilot to try and play, but the peak action coming out from 3D Max is definitely something to keep in mind. They can try and really surprise him with their positioning.
Oh, CT.
Few shots. He's not there, unfortunately. Yeah. CT are going to try and maybe...
POLLADERUC gets put down to about 25 health. Going to try and have to heal up. It does put DOS Pilots back a little bit. 3D Max are using that low ground so beautifully to their advantage. Just staying protected. No grenades being thrown out just yet from either side. Only a couple of smokes, as it's just a matter of just looking for that first knockdown. Whoever can get the first knockdown will most likely go for the push and go for the win. It's just going to be a matter of time as the blue zone closes in. Time ticks on. Find out who wins. This is just so intense, so exciting. Can DOS Pilots pull out the kill, the win, the chicken dinner? Solar is there. It's going to be a 1v2 for him. Can he be spot out? Can he get the double knockdown? He's going to go look for one. No, he doesn't quite. He gets knocked down in the process. This is going to be DOS Pilots getting 10 kills so far. They are going to be in the final moments of Phantom and Noki, the only two left standing for 3D Max.
3D Max down to Noki is going to be an absolute bloodbath. He gets one, he does almost find a second, but it will not be enough. And DOS Pilot, the Turkish team, coming out on top on Miramar, securing their chicken dinner.
You said that they could potentially get into the top 8. You had Katana going out early. You had InsideGames going out early. You had Quick Math getting an okay result. Could we see DOS Pilots? Who knows? If they wipe the floor in this last game in Sandhawk, just go absolute crazy, it could happen. But either way, great game. DOS Pilots coming out on top. 3D Max having a great game. Just really interesting positions coming out. The circles were a little bit kind of different than what we've seen in other Miramar games, and I loved how the teams dealt with it.
Yeah, it was really fun to see that one. And you said it about, they have to completely shred it on Sandhawk, but yesterday he got 2nd position, actually. So if they can have, maybe, just make it a little bit better, that'd be great. But you saw about this early game, InsideGames, suffering casualties very early, losing Zampeek. That's not going well for them. And the 3 teams that were fighting it early, especially all the teams that were trying to fight for that top 8, not having the insane performance. Quick Math kind of getting on top. Even their amount of points that they get from this game is not going to be significant to the point of where it's going to really put them in a worse position, I guess. I really want to try and see the standings and see what's going on, because it's going to be super valuable. And it's all going to come down to that last game on Sandhawk. Really, that's how close it is. It's going to all rely on this last 30-second game of Phase 3.
I am going to say that I'm pretty sure InsideGames have secured it overall, because it's going to take a big push from Katana to get in there, because even though they're potentially only about 10 points behind, you got to take into the fact that InsideGames could have a decent game, get 5, 6, 7 points. That means Katana has to get the chicken dinner and 5 or 7 points to really push through and overtake InsideGames. So really the ball is in Katana's court to push InsideGames out.
Yeah, all these teams had like such a good game last one, and this time it's just like up and down, and now it's unfortunately going to go and play it out on Sandhog to see what's going to come out. Again, 3D Max, once again, like they're very proactive on their repositioning there. They didn't have the high ground on that last circle shift on phase 9. That's what kind of caused them to lose it, and also it was a 3v4 for them, so directly that manpower disadvantage was not a great way for them to try and secure that game. But then you saw Nocky. He still got one knock at the very end, but it wasn't quite enough, and he got shut down by CTR of DOS Pilot. And they secure themselves once again that chicken dinner.
The three teams,
the 4 teams,
the 3 or 4. Well, no, because 4 Angry Kids are kind of a tiny bit further down. It's the fact that YMCA and InsideGames are in 7th and 8th respectively. Katana, is in 6th and 7th. 7th and 8th, and then Katana is in 9th respectively. And then you have DOS Pilots getting an absolutely fantastic result. This is getting pretty damn spicy going into the last game. Look at that. 22 points. First chicken dinner of the phase for DOS Pilots. It's been coming. They've looked stronger every day. They've had a couple of faults. There is kind of a reason why they were below the top 8, but they deserve that chicken dinner.
Yeah, and even, I'd have to say, deserve to get in that top 8. That was a great performance from them. As you can see, the damage output pretty close, but still almost 2.2k from the likes of DOS Pilots. Was a 12k kill. That conversion rate is absolutely mental, and they got again that chicken dinner 22 points in one single game. If they can do that again, maybe a little bit more points they need, but that might just be enough for them to tip over in the top 8. Barely.
and let's talk about LXG. Like, especially Fuse and even the whole of LXG. I think they got around 2 squad wipes, kind of.
Almost 3.
Almost, a real chunky amount of kills, a couple of upsets in terms of the teams around them. And hey, look, when they haven't kind of qualified for the top 8, they've got nothing to lose.
I mean, they did shut down Katana. They're the team that did that.
Exactly.
And we almost got the full force of Tornado Energy. But yeah, CTR from DOS Pilot, damage dealer, almost 800. Man. He was like, it's just because of their positioning, and they were scouting so many teams with that high ground. They also got math at some point. And all the teams, they just had vision on them. They knew where they were going to rotate, and just got peek, shut down if they could. A bunch of kills. They got a lot of kills, actually, 12. So really proud of the boys of CTR from